Hello and welcome back to Speed Demon Painting. Today we are taking a look at the new releases that are coming up for pre-order in September. A new blog post has gone up on the blog.warcradle.com website for us to see what's coming up in this new month. It seems that this month we're only getting any releases for Dystopian Wars and some Warcradle Scenic releases that will be available for pre-order soon at the website. So in September we're looking at these two releases pictured right here, but I will of course mostly be focusing on what's coming up for Dystopian Wars, and we see that there are 3 new boxes that are coming out which are quite exciting. The first one on the left are the Scandinavian frontline squadrons, which were pretty much expected because we saw the Ragnarok battlefleet last month. But we also have got the Russian Vitruvian Colossi set, the Marina battlefleet set, and the big release for this month is the Archimedes battlefleet set itself. Now, with this Archimedes battlefleet set, the Enlightened are getting the 6th battlefleet set so far. We've had the Imperium with the Ice Maiden, the Commonwealth even got 2 technically, with the Murmansk set being used both for the normal Murmansk set and the Black Wolf set. The Crown has had the Victory set so far, the Sultanate has got the Suleiman set, and the Union the Enterprise. So with the Enlightened getting the Archimedes set, that really only leaves the Empire and the Latin Alliance without a what we call big box so far. Now pictured here we are seeing what's coming in this Archimedes set, and you do seem to get quite a lot of it because you get the large Mass 4 resin ship pictured at the top here, and then a bunch of new plastic entries. These 2 things are the Ketos and Lotan assault machines, if I'm not mistaken, in them, along with 2 new cruiser types that are coming in. There were a few cruisers in the Orbat that were not yet released and didn't have any models yet, so I'm guessing quite a few of those entries will be filled out with these new plastic sets. And then what we see is 2 of the traditional frontline cruisers and 2 of the support cruisers. So it seems like this set is made up of the big ship, obviously, and then 2 of each of the plastic sprues, including 2 of the new ones as well. And yeah, that leaves you with a ton of models. Now, as always, they go into the different things you can build with them, and the first one we're taking a look at is the actual Archimedes class Volt ship itself. It's a big old ship that comes with 4 particle cannons in it, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the entry with the chronolath, the one that allows you to bring in units from reserves if you want to. And we also get a look at it from the back. It's got most of the weapon systems mounted there, with only a single particle beamer in the front, along of course with that large device in the center. That's not the only version that you can make out of that one though. It seems like it's coming with a couple of alternate builds, the first one being the Nansen class Explorer, and this clearly looks like an SRS token launcher, but I'll be honest, I like this version the best. I think it looks the most balanced, with most of the superstructure being in the rear, and I'm instantly drawn to this one. It just looks very, very cool with those 4 of those launchers in the center. And if we're looking at the Schneider, that is pretty much the named version of the Volt ship. That comes with 4 Sturginium agitators on it, it seems, and the Chaos Orb in the center. So it's a named variant of the normal Volt ship, and yeah, should be quite an exciting entry as well. Now, as I said, looking at the overview picture, we can see that there are 2 support sprues being included in it, and they're essentially going over what you can make out of those as well. And just as a quick reminder, that is a Plinius class, which is the traditional Mass 2 cruiser that sends out 4 SRS tokens. The Quintilian class option as well, which is a long-range bombard shooting missiles with a blast marker at your opponent, so it's great for clearing out clumps of smaller ships. And it has the Tacitus assault cruiser, which is this one, which comes with 2 front-facing particle beamers and 2 Seeker rocket batteries on it, along with a generator, so this one really is meant to just close the gap and go in very fast to the kill. And then the Claudius class, which is the one that has no additional weapon systems on it, but is a useful one for doing some card manipulation. And as you can expect on these support sprues, you can get 2 types of Mass 1 vehicles to accompany you. The first one being a torpedo-armed submarine called the Diogenes, and the second version of this one is one that is specialized in ramming, the Praxilla class option, with that big nasty drill here at the front to dive into enemy ships. And then next, probably for me at least, the most exciting entry, which is the Ketos class assault machine. This looks like quite a chunky little boy, which is essentially one that is a colossus as well, jumping out of the ocean and just attacking the enemy in close quarters. And it looks like it also has a slightly more ranged variant called the Lawton class assault machine. Probably still going to be quite good when popping out of the ocean, but this one looks like it's more of a ranged head option from it. And this is what it looks like from the rear. I really do like these constructions. They've got a very high super science look to them that I really appreciate in my Enlightened. Now, of course, these new plastic sprues are not just making Ketos and Lawton machines, as exciting as they are. They also build a new cruiser type option. And like I said, there were a few entries into the Orbats that were still not quite made. One of them being the Newton class Void Engine cruisers. They're quite lightly armed ships, only having a single etheric lance in front and, well, fore and aft, I should say. And then this Void Engine is able to do all kinds of teleport tricks in game, and this is what it looks like from the rear, which is sort of a projector thing. And this one was also added, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Origin Lath ships, which is even lightly armored. It only comes with a single etheric lance in the back. This is the entry I had my eyes on the most, personally, for gameplay reasons, because this one can repair automata that get destroyed within a certain range, but can't quite recall how far off the top of my head. That should really work well with all of those automata you get in the Orbats, or in the sprues, the older sprues. And then this one also, it's going to be a hard call to make which one you're going to take, is the Vesalius class Cetacean surgical ship. These are also the ones that launch those whale tokens, the same as the big flagship that came in the Hunt for the Prometheus set as well. So if you want to augment that kind of gameplay, you can with this cruiser. And then something new, the Zumina class capacitor ship. Quite curious to see what that's going to do, but it does kind of look cool with this big whirly thing on the top. We'll see what that brings. And yeah, there are of course the tried and tested frontline frontline squadron cruisers, that are also included, including the Loveless option or the Stiletto class. I'm not going to go over these too much because we do know them. I've got other videos going over these different build options, and the same with the different Merian and Germain Zebek destroyer options that you get out of them. But one thing that did pique my interest is this thing. And it comes with Orca tokens now. So maybe that Vesalius is being changed and tweaked a bit so you can launch those. But that does look kind of exciting to have a squadron of 4 killer whales just having at the enemy as well. Next to the traditional visitor token, which was the large whale token that we know from the support squadrons. And it comes with some enlightened escorts as well. There were 2 escorts, I think, were shown. So it stands to reason that the new plastic sprue is going to make one of those assault machines, one of those cruisers, and then one of these enlightened escorts to go with it. And then at the end of it, they go over everything that can be found in this set, and yeah, pretty much like the other set, that very much looks like a standard 1500 point set that's going to get you into standard gameplay just with that purchase. And I think an ideal tag-along with the Hunt for the Prometheus Enlightened Half, because if you've already bought into the game via that starter set, it does look like this new Archimedes set just gets you a bit of everything in terms of plastics and new big ships, and you'll be covered for both flagships and cruisers in an absolutely brilliant way and a cheap way to get into the game as well. Now, it wasn't the only very exciting release as well. You also have the Marina Battlefleet set. This one has been teased to the artwork for the Russian, the Commonwealth vitruvian colossi that come with it, with a big drill and power fist along with a new Mass 1 ship. Clearly that looks a bit like a Rurik but isn't, and those are the new Boyar heavy frigates. Now, if you're looking at the Marina, that's the first build option for this set. That's the one with the 2 fists and the rocket batteries as well. And if you're wondering how come these big robots are just going around in the ocean, well, they all work with these sort of jetpacks that propel them out of the water so they can remain at the surface as they're doing their combat. And they pretty much show up out of nowhere in the middle of the battle, just to ram the enemies and just cause devastation with shooting attacks and everything. And it's not the only build option. It seems like they have a second one called the Kostroma class Vitruvian Colossus, and I kind of like this one best from the looks of it. Comes with a big axe that also has a gun on top of it, it seems, because it's got a bit of a magazine loadout on here, and a claw arc projector, I think that is. And quite fun to see smaller versions of the railguns that come with it. And obviously that head is just one giant generator, the ice generator, that can act as a blast weapon as well, and it has the same similar jetpack in the back that allows it to pop up to the surface. So that's a really cool entry. It does have a bit of a weird arm construction. I am looking at this thinking, like, how is this going to be posable? Because the ball and socket that the old Metzger and Hochmeister set had for the Imperium was incredibly posable, but so far I'm only seeing fairly straightly attached arms. This one is angled slightly outwards, so quite curious to see what this one's going to be like and how much flexibility is going to be in that shoulder joint to make different poses out of them. And also, if you can cut things like these loose to put that fist in a more upright position, for instance, maybe even change it out for the occasional bit that you have stacked away somewhere. And like I said, the Mass 1 ship looks like it's that Boyar class heavy frigate, which is one that comes with a new, obviously separated gun battery at the front. For those of you who don't know, the Commonwealth recently had a change to the Ruriks, giving you seismic mortars in the front because it was molded onto the actual hull of the ship, that weapon. And this looks like it's a separate part, so you can change it out for different weapon loadouts. And as you can see, the superstructure here has 2 rocket battery tubes on it as well, which is the way it is armed in the Orbat entry. And if I'm not mistaken, you can change out the front weapon for a few things, even a seismic mortar, but I think that's because this top bit here looks surprisingly compatible to what the Rurik one is, so it'd be cool to see if there's a bit of extra interchangeability from these two. And then, as the last release for Dystopian Wars, we have the Scandinavian frontline squadron coming out. We know what these ships are like. We've seen them when the Ragnarok set came out, rather. But if you want to augment your Scandinavian fleet, your starting Scandinavian fleet with more plastic sprues, this is essentially the set to get. It comes with traditional 2 sprues, each sprue making a single cruiser, and 2 Mass 1 ships, the frigates, in this case the Hoth destroyers, if I'm not mistaken, and you can make a couple of variations, if I'm not mistaken, 3 out of the cruisers as well. Those three are the Gugnir class Light Reaver, which is the one with the Sturmbringer, no sorry, the Heavy Sturmklaue at the front, with just a normal Sturmklaue in the center. And this is what it looks like from the back. It does have a very cool aft end compared to the other ones. I really like this entry. And you could make the Odin class Reaver out of that one. This one swaps out the center segment for a heavy Volt Gun battery, but keeps the Heavy Sturmklaue in the front. And then the last variant you can make is the Jotun, which just combines all of these parts together to create something that has the full Heavy Sturmklaue at the front, the normal Sturmklaue in the middle, and then the Volt Gun battery at the back. But if you're going to be fielding those, my guess is that you probably wanted to field big squadrons of them, because they do come with weapon profiles that can't all be stacked. So yeah, that option is now more accessible for you if you had your eye on a Scandinavian fleet. And that's pretty much it for the Dystopian Wars releases for that month. If you want to, you can check out the different War Cradle Scenics elements that came out as well. They are mostly individually available buildings that they had released previously, but it's nice to see that they are now available separately. So, if you like this video and if you want to keep up to date with all things Dystopian Wars, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for future updates. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!